Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are South.
It's a beautiful night for baseball here in the Sunshine State. We join you from South Florida and Miami in particular. Marlins Park, the scene for our final road series of the 2015 season. It's the Braves and the Marlins, two clubs playing real good baseball in the last couple of weeks. We meet tonight in Game 1 of the series. Hi again, friends. Joe and Chip, welcome to the ballpark. Good pitching matchup tonight for the Braves and the Fish. Hey, the Braves have won 5 of the last 6 games, and they found a face who can really fill a spot in the rotation. Young Ryan Weber's done good work in his first 3.
This is a battle for third place, and don't forget about it. For Ryan Weber, it will be his 4th start. He's pitched really well since he was added to the rotation about 2 weeks ago. He's a guy who just makes you swing the bat. He wants you to hit it on the ground, and he's done a good job of that. He's got a good sinker, good tailing fastball. He's got a good changeup and a pretty good curveball to go with all that. So for Ryan Weber, his first appearance here at Marlins Park and against the Fish, they'll get a look at his stuff tonight. There are his numbers in his first 3, but only 3 runs of support. So what's new for one of the Braves starters there?
Meanwhile, the Braves have their hands full. The Fish have won 14 of their last 22 ball games, their best run in 3 weeks and in 2015. And oh, by the way, they've got their best guy going, Jose Fernandez, who's never lost on his home mound.
I think they pulled him back a start so he could face the Braves for 3rd place, and the battle is on. Jose Fernandez, recovering from Tommy John surgery, has only made 9 starts this year, and you're seeing some of his good stuff. He throws hard. He's in the upper 90s, and a real good hard slider that you see right there. He injured himself a little bit in his start against Atlanta in early August. They held him out for a month, but his last 2 starts he's been just outstanding, just nails against the Washington Nationals. Only 2 runs allowed in 10 innings, but there are the numbers at home. He's never lost in this ballpark. Maybe tonight's the night.
He will be on a pitch count around 95 pitches tonight. This should be and probably will be his final start of the season. The Braves are hoping to make it a memorable one and hand him his first home loss. Atlanta hopes to stay hot in Miami. Game 1, Braves and Fish coming your way right after this.
Great stuff, low price, every day.
Welcome back to Marlins Park, where we're getting ready to watch the Braves put in their final Friday night road work of this season, and hopefully they'll be able to continue to stack W's just like they did in the just completed series in New York. Hello again, everyone. I'm Andre Aldrich. We know that the reason there's more fannies in the seats is because of Jose Fernandez, more so than the previous series against Phillies for the Marlins, but the Braves are also streaking too. 6-0 in this ballpark this season, and they've done it every way possible, scoring runs, hot bats, taking care of business. But according to Freddie Freeman, it's that pitching, though. You see the bullpen ERA and the starters ERA, sensational.
We've been pitching well. You know, this is a pitcher's park, and you know it's a good thing for us. You know, we got a lot of sinker ballers to keep the ball down, and you know if they do get it elevated, this park is going to keep it in. So that's been the key thing for us. And obviously we haven't had to face Fernandez in those 6 games. So, you know, we got a tough task tonight, and you know hopefully Webb keeps us in the game long enough, and we can get pitch count high on Jose and get into their bullpen.
Always keeping it real, Freddie Freeman there. Tongue-in-cheek, they're talking about Fernandez, though. Freddie knows how to put the bat on the ball because he has a double and a home run, 3 hits and 12 at-bats against Mr. Fernandez. We promise it's going to be good, hopefully good to the very last drop. Yeah, that guy's good, but we think our guys are better. Maybe we'll get a 7th consecutive win here in Miami. Joe and Chip with the call right after the break.
Airlines and your local Ford dealer.
Baseball time in Miami. Roof is on here at Marlins Park. A muggy, rainy day in South Florida most of the day today. And hopefully there won't be any rainy days for the Braves offense as they get to work against Jose Fernandez. A pair of lineups were posted for Freddie Gonzalez earlier today. He decided to change to option number 2 that features Daniel Castro batting and playing second. Another left-handed bat for Atlanta. You hope will get the work done for Atlanta's offense against Jose Fernandez, who has been rolling in his young career at home.
Take a look at the numbers. That speaks for itself. A 1.11 ERA. So it's not like he's been lucky. A 171 average, 23 years old, 6'2", 215 out of Tampa, a number 1 pick for the Marlins in 2011.
Nick Markakis leads off and takes outside. What I meant to say was another left-handed bat was taken out of the lineup by Freddie Gonzalez. Jace Peterson was going to hit down in the order. Instead, it's Castro hitting second behind Markakis. So now we got that straight. Fernandez has his first strike. It's an even count.
94 to 98 fastball, big slider, and a changeup.
Ripped toward the gap in right center field. That ball is gone. A home run for Markakis.
Welcome back to Miami, Nick. My goodness. He had a good series here to open the season and just hit his third homer leading off the game. And I mean a lightning bolt fastball up and not hit very high.
1-0 Braves. Yeah. Only the third home run given up by Fernandez in 53+ innings. And a great start for the Braves, who try to hand him his first home loss. Now a shot up the middle by Castro. Markakis and Castro begin the game with a bang. And Mr. Fernandez is a little perplexed.
Oh, he's gotten 2 fastballs up, and they've both been peppered. One out of here and one at him.
So a leadoff homer, a solid single, and that brings up Freddie Freeman. Sore wrist and all, you wouldn't have known it in his last game. 2 at-bats, 5 RBIs. And he has a healthy cut and fouls one away for a strike. Freeman's 3 for 12 with a homer against the Marlins right-hander. And got a breaking ball and fouled it away. It's 0-2. He better get the ball down, or it's going to be a shorter night than 95 pitches.
Yes, it will. Those 2 swings Freddie had last night, both outstanding. 2 of the best swings he's had in a couple of weeks. And a couple of good swings here to start his game tonight. Doesn't seem to be favoring it.
Lined over short. That's into center field for a hit. 3 straight hits begin the night for the Atlanta batsman.
What'd you say about getting the ball down? It's another one. You hear us harp on this all the time, but here's a guy that throws in the upper 90s. He's a terrific pitcher, but this is a good example of what major league hitters do to anybody's fastball when it's letter high. They see it and they go after it.
Well, let's have a big first inning. A.J. Przinsky's knocked in 9 runs against the Marlins this year. And he takes high and away. 1 ball, no strikes. .45 RBIs for Przinsky, 7 homers. And hitting .293 for the year. Ball 2. Love the start. Markakis with a leadoff homer. Castro and Freeman back-to-back singles. And that's peppered down the left field line. 2 balls and a strike. Leadoff homer for Nick Markakis.
Fernandez's last start came against the Nationals. He got no decision. Pitched into the 6th inning, gave up 2 runs, walked 2, struck out 8. And his start before that against Washington was his 5th win. He's 5-0. 5 innings in that outing, 2 hits, no runs, 7 strikeouts. That was his first start back after pitching against Atlanta.
2 balls, 2 strikes. There were some who were a little surprised that he did come back after that biceps problem that he suffered against the Braves. He is the future of this franchise. He is their #1 top of the rotation ace, and is coming back from Tommy John surgery, as we all know. But here he is. A breaking ball. AJ fought that off. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, part of their disappointment this year, they knew they were going to be without him until at least mid-season because of the Tommy John surgery. But they didn't plan on being without Giancarlo Stanton for 3 months.
Right. And he's still not back from the hamate problem. They also have lost Henderson Alvarez to shoulder surgery. Jared Cozart has battled vertigo problems. He's a good, young, hard-throwing arm in rotation. He's been in and out of the starting 5 all year long for Miami. So no doubt injuries really shipwrecked the Marlins season almost as soon as it began. AJ looks at that one off the plate. Full count. Runners go. AJ fouled it off. Like that move. AJ hitting .293 for the Braves this year.
Yeah, I like the aggressiveness too.
Hasn't struck out much.
Yeah.
In fact, only 35 times and 392 at bats. So if they were running a moment ago, one thinks they'll run again here. Let's see.
Might affect how they pitch AJ on this pitch. They may try to work him away.
Runners don't go, and it's pulled foul.
No, that was the breaking ball in.
You heard Freddie talk about exactly what the Braves are doing just before first pitch. Work that pitch count. He's at 95 for the limit tonight. Fernandez is about to throw number 19, and he doesn't have it out in the opening inning.
AJ hit a big home run here earlier this season to win one of those 6 games the Braves have won here.
Runners go. Fouled away.
That was 98. AJ got a piece of it. That home run by Markakis does so much for everybody who has to come up there with a bat. You're already up 1-0 and start feeling pretty good about yourself against this tough pitcher. Set the tone.
Ground ball. Gordon smothers. Can't recover. All hands are safe. What an at-bat by Brzezinski to put the ball in play up the middle. And Fernandez just can't believe his fate. He hasn't retired a hitter yet. He's about to throw his 21st pitch.
He's not used to getting treated this way here in his home ballpark. Good stop by Gordon, but the ball just kept rolling away from him. Great opportunity to have a big inning.
Infield hit for Brzezinski. Now 17 away from 2,000. And that'll bring up Andrelton Simmons. Andrelton wore out the Mets pitching staff this year. He's had some trouble, though, with the Marlins. 7 hits and 41 tries against him this season. Ground ball right side. Bohr's got it. Second for 1. Throw to first is late. A run is in. It's 2-0 Atlanta. Fernandez got to the bag, but talks with Tom Hallion about the call at first. Andrelton brings home Daniel Castro. Freeman to third. Przinsky forced out, and it's 2-zip.
He was late getting to the bag. He was late breaking to get over there, and then was not sure where the bag was, so he's trying to find it. And by the time he does, Andrelton's safe.
And now Chuck Hernandez, the Marlins pitching coach, wants to see that electric smile of Jose Fernandez, who's given up a couple of early runs tonight.
'41st RBI for Simmons.
And you see why Jose Fernandez has been so good at home. Our Home Depot tools from the dugout.
Lowest in Major League history in first 25 home starts. Ewell Blackwell, side armor. Man, was he tough. So they tell me.
One of the great nicknames, the Whip.
Mm-hmm.
Former Marlin Cameron Maybin hits. And that went well off the plate, but cut on and missed. No balls and a strike.
Anything but a double play gets you another run.
Way high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I can't remember the last time the Braves scored more than 1 run in the first inning.
Might have been a little irritation on that pitch. 99, just trying to waste a pitch ahead in the count.
And that swept outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. By my count, the last time that happened was August 28th. The Braves plated multi-runs in their first at bat. Didn't get the corner. Full count. Hector Olivera waits next. Let's see if Simmons is running at first. He is. The pitch is lined into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Andrelton all the way around to third. Freeman scores standing up, and Maybin drives home a run. It's 3-0.
That's not easy to do, to hit it soft enough to have it fall in front of Ozuna, but hit it hard enough to get it out of the infield. That was just perfect. Breaking ball, hit it off the end of the bat a little bit. But for Maybin, his 54th RBI, and the Braves have a 3-0 lead here in the first, still batting.
54 RBIs for Cameron Maybin. 3 runs on 5 hits. Here's Olivera.
Showed you that graphic in our opening comments about Ryan Weber. He has had 3 total runs to work with in his first 3 starts of 19 1/3 innings. He's got 3 to start with at least tonight. That is a big sweeping slider, and it's hard.
Pitch might set it up again. 2 balls and a strike. Fastball strike at 97. And now an even count. Battle of Cuban natives here. The Marlins pitcher Jose Fernandez, 23 years old, out of Santa Clara, Cuba. The pitch. Fly ball toward left. Dietrich is there. He will make the catch. Simmons tags. He's coming home. There'll be no play. A sac fly RBI for Oliveira, and the Braves have scored 4 in the first against Jose Fernandez.
Outstanding. All that good base running work, moving guys around. Simmons running on that swing by Maben, going first to third, sets up the sacrifice fly. Wasn't deep, but deep enough. And a great start to this game for Atlanta.
So Michael Bourne, the batter, he's the 8th hitter. And that's downstairs. You know how many earned runs Jose Fernandez has given up at home this year coming into play?
No.
Total of 4.
3 came in his very first start. That's the most runs he's allowed in any game, is 3.
Well, 4 tonight. And that one skied toward left. And what a tremendously productive first inning for the Braves. They score 4 times. It started with a leadoff homer by Nick Markakis. 8 men came to the plate, 4 came home, and Ryan Weber has a big early lead after a half inning. Ryan Weber goes to work, and the young right-hander has been very impressive in his first 3 big league starts.
3.26 ERA, 5 walks in 19 innings. That's a lot for him, actually, but he should be settling into his big league work now and his 4 keys to pitching success tonight. Of course, with a 4-run lead, that means throwing strikes, which he does anyway. But start pitching into these guys. They haven't seen you before. They don't know how your ball can move, especially to the left-handers. And don't change the way you pitch just because it's a big yard. Still try to get your ground balls, and if they do hit it in the air, you've got a little better chance of it staying in.
Weber so far a 3-to-1 ground out to fly out ratio in the major leagues. And a good way to keep these guys in check is to keep this guy off the base paths. D. Gordon's having a great year for Miami. 190 hits, 78 runs. And a .330 batting mark. There's that pitch inside, and he took it for a strike. Gordon's good work is our Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot feature. Most hits in the National League. Nick Markakis third. Two guys from Arizona sandwiched around Markakis. Ground ball to first. Freeman's got it. Flips to the pitcher covering. Close play, and Gordon beat it. Gordon beat Weber to the bag. Infield hit. His very first start, there was a play at first similar to this, and it was a foot race, and he won it. Weber won it. This guy's too fast. Good call over there by Tom Hallion. Ryan a little slow to get there. And he's a guy who really squares up nicely defensively to break over there if he needs to. So Gordon at first with an infield hit, and Christian Yelich is the batter. Yelich batting .288, 7 homers, 40 RBIs. He too has crushed Atlanta pitching this year. Yelich 19 hits and 51 at bats, and he takes a strike. Want to keep an eye on Gordon at first. He's stolen 53 bases this season. And he's measured off a big lead at first. Nobody out, bottom of the first in Miami. And he just did get back. He was leaning. Yeah, he actually was ready to cross over, wasn't he? Ripped into right. That almost took Gordon's helmet with it. Markakis will play that off the wall. Gordon on his way to third. He's going to stop there. Yelich with a double, and here come the Marlins, second and third, nobody out. That one had no movement, and it had bad location. Again, big league hitters hit high pitches, especially those that are straight. In situations like this that we've seen before for Ryan Weber, he keeps his cool, he gets his ground balls, he might give up a run, but he gets out of it. He doesn't let it lead into big innings. And here's Martin Prado. Prado's missed some time with a sore wrist, but is batting .288 for the year. A base hit to right. That's going to score one. Yelich will be stopped at third. And Martin Prado makes it a 3-run game with an RBI hit. And like the Braves, the first 3 Miami hitters have reached with a hit. First start for Martin in about a week. Another fastball straight and down the middle. 4-seamer. 57 RBIs for Martin. I'd say he's back and out and feeling better. Had a pinch hit single last night. And what has been a disappointing year for the Marlins, Joe, I think you'd agree that Justin Boers turned out to be a very pleasant development for them at first base and at the plate. Yeah, 19 home runs worth. Provided some power in the absence of Stanton. Boer will always be an arch villain in the annals of Braves Marlins history. He's the man that broke up Shelby Miller's no-hit bid here in Miami. as you see, third among rookies this year in homers in the National League. And not close. 2 balls, no strikes. Swing, fly ball, deep right, and we are tied. That was a no-doubter. And new life for Fernandez, new life for the Marlins. 4 in, nobody out in the first.
I'm not sure what happened to the movement. It's all gone, except off the bat. What do you think Jose Fernandez is feeling in the dugout?
Oh, king of the world. And still nobody out. Another power hitter up there, and Marcell Ozuna. Ozuna just 9 homers this year, but remember, he was exiled to the minor leagues for a month and a half this year. And there's some whispers that he might be a guy that the Marlins move in the offseason. If that's the case, there'll be a lot of teams interested in this man. He can play center field and hit 20 home runs. Slow roller. Bare hand. Weber threw a changeup wide to first. Never had the handle. Castro picks it up, but not before Ozuna stands at second base. That must have slipped, because that had absolutely no shot at getting to first base on a line.
Yeah, that was a good sinker. That had movement. It all started by not being able to outrun D. Gordon to the bag at first.
So a wild first inning, and the Braves bullpen is busy already. That'll be an infield hit and a throwing error that puts Ozuna at second base, and now Derek Dietrich is the batter. And he had a healthy cut, fouled straight back. Dietrich has 1 hit this year against Braves pitching. That hit, a home run. And 15 of his 24 RBIs came in the month of August. High hopper out towards second, runner to third. The throw to first in time. There's the first out of the inning. Well, we're 2/3 of the way through the Marlins starting 9. We might as well tell you who the last 3 hitters are.
Just gonna say, I think we've seen them, haven't we?
On our academy sheet. Jeff Mathis, Rojas, and Fernandez, the bottom part of the order. Forward to seeing Miguel Rojas. We've heard some rave reviews about him defensively. He's playing for Yankees Echeverria, who's still out with a hamstring problem. Infield in for the Braves, who were spotted 4 first inning runs. They've given them all right back. Mathis did not enjoy home cooking at the start of this year. He was 0 for his first 30 at the plate here in Miami. And this one's squibbed toward short. Runners coming home. Simmons throw. He's going to be in time to nail Ozuna at the plate.
That was a 93-foot slide, and much appreciated, because he slid to the outside. His feet went by the plate. He was going to try to catch the plate with his left hand, and that gave AJ a chance to tag his hand. Watch this. If he goes in feet first, he probably scores. If he goes in feet first to the plate. Outside of the plate, 93 feet. That's where he got tagged. His feet were 3 feet by the plate. Thank you.
So that keeps the game tied and brings up Miguel Rojas. Rojas has hits in 8 of his last 9 ball games. You might recall Echeverria injured a hamstring running the bases down in Atlanta, up in Atlanta on September 2nd. He's just now starting to take batting practice, and he and the Marlins are hoping he'll be able to play before the season ends. And now Rojas with a single to center. So he's hit in 9 of 10 games. And 6 hits in the opening inning.
Nothing's moving, Chip. I mean, every start he's had, his ball's been moving all over the place, to the point that sometimes those walks were a product of the ball moving off the plate too much. But I mean, nothing has any sink to it. They're just spinning.
Well, watch out for this guy. Don't be fooled by Fernandez. Yes, he's a pitcher, but he can swing the bat. The Braves know all about that. Remember, he hit a home run here famously a couple of years ago. And that's off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Slow roller toward short. Simmons has it. He will glove and flip to first. That was some kind of crazy first inning. Miami sends 9 to the plate. 4 of their hitters score, and after 1, it's a 4-4 game. Well, it's back to the future night in Miami, and both pitching coaches wish they could have a do-over. 4-4 after 1 inning of play. Atlanta tagged Jose Fernandez with 4 in the top of the first. Ryan Weber surrendered 4 and allowed the Marlins to bat around. Here's the Marlins defensive lineup. Prado, Rojas, Gordon, and Bohr around the horn. Good outfield with Dietrich in left, Yelich in center, and Ozuna, the man in right. So Weber will lead things off for the Braves. He is hitless in his big league career. Strike three. There's the first for Fernandez tonight. That's how the Braves' second starts.
I'd say he's got a renewed sense of purpose.
I was going to ask you, he must feel like the king of the world.
Yeah. Let's start over.
Well, here's the man that got it started for the Braves, Nick Markakis, with a line drive homer into the seats in right center. His first homer since August 1st and his third for the season. And outside, ball one. Braves don't hit many home runs. That was just their 92nd as a team. That's last in Major League Baseball. And this one's hit toward Rojas. He's got it, and the throw to first in time, 2 out. Again, pitch count will be something to follow for Fernandez. We were told before the game 95 or so is where they'd like to see his night end. It's rumored that this will be his final start of the 2015 season as well. So he needs some economy if he's going to qualify for the win. Downstairs to Castro. 1 ball, no strikes.
He's listed at 215, but he looks like he's bigger than that to me now. You know, from his conditioning work during the rehab for Tommy John, he might be 225 now.
Yeah, little doubt about where Fernandez's power comes from. Big, strong lower half. Painted a corner, 2-2.
One of the things that he was able to work on once he was able to start throwing, he wasn't allowed to throw his breaking ball, but he was allowed to throw his fastball and changeup as he built up arm strength.
In the air to right, that should be easy, and it is, and it was a quick 1-2-3.
And as a result, his changeup is better than before he got hurt.
And he looks a lot better in the second than he did in the first. Top of the order up for Miami in a tie game. Real thought provoker. Do you think Pete Rose should be reinstated into baseball, and why? Tweet us at Fox Sports South using hashtag Rose Debate, and your answer could be read during our Braves Live post-game show. Media reports surfaced that Pete Rose apparently met with Commissioner Rob Manfred yesterday, and the commissioner apparently has said that he will offer his verdict on Pete Rose before the end of the 2015 calendar year. And ball one to D. Gordon, who leads off for the second consecutive inning, this time in the Miami second.
It's a pretty good curveball there. Alfonso Marquez didn't call it.
A bunt right in front of the plate, and that's an easy picking for A.J. Pierzynski. 1 out. I
mean, he threw 23 4 pitches in the first inning. Wasn't like he was out there for 35, so
No.
just consider it a long inning and hold him right there.
Yeah, 24 pitches in about 8 rockets.
Well, I was going to say 24 pitches in about 8 seconds, but that's
Yeah.
what it felt like.
Whew. Man, oh man. Bad news is he gave up 4 runs. Good news is he didn't give up all of the lead. 4-4. As Yelich bats and takes outside. We're going to see a lot of this kid if he stays healthy the next 5-10 years in National League Eastern play. And whether you're a Marlins fan, Braves fan, if you're a baseball fan, kind of like the way this kid swings the bat. Good player. Already a Gold Glover. And if he can stay healthy, he's had knee problems, he's had back problems this year. He's going to be a good one for a long, long time.
Who was it that said to you when they were in Atlanta last that he still had a chance to hit 300?
Brett Butler.
Yeah. So he's at 288. Chances are he's not going to get there, but his point was a good one, that he was rebounding strongly from his back injury.
And a walk with 1 out brings up Martin Prado, who served a single into the outfield for RBI number 57. When you look at the Marlins club, I said this when they were in Atlanta, I like their team. I really like the way their offense looks. It'll look a lot better when Giancarlo Stanton comes back. If he can turn into a 40-50 home run a year guy coming back from the wrist problems. First the pitch to Martin instead of throw to first. They got to find more pitching, I think, behind Fernandez. But there's a lot to like about this Miami offensive group. And there is Giancarlo Stanton. He has been sorely missed. There's a strike. 0-1 to Prado. They were hoping after the wrist problem he'd be back in 3 to 4 weeks. It's been 3 months.
Which makes them wonder what's going on in there.
0-2, hold foul.
Stanton's had a couple of setbacks after attempting to rehab it against live pitching. They are not the same team without him.
In the air toward right, Markakis is there. And Prado is out number 2. And here's Justin Bohr. Big blow in the first inning for the Marlins. That's already tonight's Toyota Key play.
Something between the knees and the waist, and the big left-hander raked it. 3-run shot.
He has hit 7 3-run homers this year, 7 of his 20. And now 66 RBIs. Remember, Bohr was not their everyday first baseman. It was Michael Morse. And that didn't work out very well for the Marlins. They turned him loose. Gave Bohr a chance to play, and he's rewarded them with 20 homers. Runner goes, pitch a ball. The throw to second is in time. Short hop. Simmons caught it and applied the tag and nailed Yelich, who's out for the 5th time trying to steal a base. Nothing doing for Miami in the second. Still tied at 4. Help to pick a winner. Go to Braves.com/A50 today and vote on the current matchup. Henry Aaron's 715th home run versus Sid Bream's slide in '92. Go to Braves.com/A50 to help us crown the most memorable moments.
Those are the finalists?
That's two of them. Two of the final four.
Man, oh man. That's a tough one.
Yep. And we go to the third inning. Freddie Freeman leads off for the Braves.
I could see how those two could be the finalists.
Right. Freddie Freeman 3 for his last 3, counting back to our Wednesday night affair in New York. A 2-run double and a 3-run homer in the 7th and 9th inning, respectively. And the green light on 3-0, didn't get it. 3 balls and a strike.
Early in his career, Jose Fernandez and Freddie had a pretty good back and forth going when he couldn't get Freddie out.
And that one's caught by Bohr at first. That one nearly hooked over his head. And Freeman's retired for the first out.
Freddie's right wrist that bothers him the most. It's rare that you see that top hand come off.
Six straight retired by Fernandez. A.J. Przinsky, an infield, hit his first time up. He's got 12 hits against the Marlins this year. And is chasing down 2,000 hits for the Braves. He's now 17 away. To second, D. Gordon takes care of that. 2 out. Andrelton Simmons with his 41st RBI brought home the second Atlanta run. Braves got 4 in the first. So did Miami. There's that hook.
In some ways, it's a lot like Jake Arrieta of the Cubs in that it's hard. This one's a little more of a sweeper. Arrieta's is a downer, but it's both still very effective in how hard they're thrown. One more button undone, he might as well pitch in a tank top.
0-2 is a little low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Line to first again, and Bohr climbed the ladder, and he made the play to retire the side. 8 up, 8 down for Fernandez. For Ozuna and Dietrich are coming up for the fish. games of the year, Friday, October 2nd through the 4th, when the Braves take on the Cardinals. Mystery Gate giveaways for the first 10,000 fans on each day. Go to Braves.com/tickets and get your seats today. Moore was in the batter's box when Yelich was thrown out trying to steal, and he'll get a new set of strikes as he begins the home third. Moore's not getting much Rookie of the Year attention, but perhaps he should with the power numbers he's put up this season.
He'll get some votes, but they won't be for first place.
No. That's fouled at the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That movement on his two-seamers beginning to show up a little bit. It did last inning. And there was a pitch that it also showed up down and away, but nowhere near what we saw in his first 3 starts for Atlanta. And very few pitches on the inside to the lefties. Here comes one.
Missed inside and high, full count. Driven down the right field line. That ball is foul. Moore had to look at Freddie Freeman before he found out the ball was ruled foul by Tom Hallion. A line drive shot that nearly put Miami in front.
All he needed to look at was Tom Hallion. He tried to come in with that two-seamer and let it back up over the inside corner, but he's not burying it in there. There's the target in. You see it started right in the middle of the plate, and it did nothing. And got cracked again.
And now a shot the other way by Moore. He's going to try to split the gap. Big outfield. Throw to second is going to be off target. And Moore with a belly flop doubles to lead off the Miami third.
That appeared to be a good pitch that he spoiled, and who would think about him going the other way with it? That was off the plate. Braves are playing him to pull, so he hit it between Simmons and Oliveira. And after making a couple of good plays defensively and actually jumping to make the catch in the inning, he goes in head first with a double.
And he is sucking down all the oxygen in the ballpark now.
Is.
He is a tired man.
The ceiling is
yes.
Flexing.
Bouncing ball to third. Oliveira struggled to get it back into his hand and couldn't get him in time. Ozuna an infield hit. He's got a pair of those tonight.
Knocked it down in good fashion. Couldn't get rid of it in time. Yes, that's right. Oz, 2 infield hits.
More action in the Braves bullpen as Dietrich comes up. He was the first out in the Marlins' first. He's their 6th place hitter. Downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes.
This guy can hit. Came up as a second baseman. They've been trying him in the outfield. talking about him taking some strange routes to balls that have been hit his way, but he's learning on the job in left field. And the reason he keeps getting opportunities to learn is because he can hit.
And if he can emerge out there, that would help make Ozuna expendable, assuming, of course, that Giancarlo Stanton comes back. But that's an issue for the offseason. The here and now is a 2-ball, 1-strike count for Dietrich out of Georgia Tech. And a base hit to left. Here comes Bohr to third base. He will be stopped. And the Marlins have him loaded again with nobody out.
Dietrich has 10 home runs and 145 at bats coming in. That's obviously 1 every 14 and a half at bats. That's real good for a guy who doesn't play every day.
A.J. Przinsky standing atop the pitcher's mound. Freddie Gonzalez on the third step, and he's on his way out. Looks like that's going to be the end of the line for Ryan Weber. No movement for Mr. Weber tonight.
None.
And the Marlins did not miss many of his 47 pitches. He will leave with the bases loaded and nobody out in what's obviously been his roughest big league start to this point. .47 pitches thrown in 2+ innings. He departs with the bases loaded. Game tied at 4. And now Ryan Kelly becomes the second Atlanta pitcher of the night, and he's got a mess.
Well, it's not the kind of spot you want to come into, certainly, especially when you haven't been out there in a while. It's been 9 days since Kelly pitched, and that was against Toronto. 2 innings, 2 hits. And among those was a home run.
I'm sorry, Joe. This is the part of the game that does concern you. Our Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. It has been a rough go of it in relief for the Braves since August 1.
Yeah, it has been. The Braves winning 5 of the last 6. It's been good. Guys have done the job. Edwin Jackson in particular comes to mind in New York. But they really need a yeoman effort tonight out of the pen.
That got a piece of AJ on the way by and a foul ball, and he takes a walk back by the Braves on deck circle.
I don't know if that got under his mask, between the mask and the chest protector. That's what it looked like.
Oh,
like on the collarbone.
Jeff Mathis, the Marlins catcher tonight.
Down the left field line. That's big trouble. 2 runs are going to score for sure. Here comes Dietrich around third. He's getting the green light. Relay throw to the plate. Late. It's a double. And the Marlins clear the bases with a 2-base hit by Jeff Mathis.
Breaking ball, hanger out over the plate. Cleans the sacks, all charged to Weber. Mathis hadn't even played on this homestand for Miami, so he's making the most of his opportunity tonight.
So again, a man that was 0 for his first 30 at home. Mathis now 4 for 9 and 4 RBIs in his last 3 games here in Marlins Park. He broke his hand on April 12th and didn't get back to the big leagues until June the 5th. And now he's got 10 RBIs on the season, and Miami leads 7-4.
Yeah, he had 7 for the year and 3 on that swing. Gives him 10.
Inside corner strike to Rojas. It's 0-2. Rojas has been a very hot hitter, and an 8-game hitting streak snapped yesterday. This one's back to the mound. Kelly's going to go to third, and Mathis in a rundown will be tagged out. That worked out well. And Rojas at first as Mathis is run down between second and third base for the first out of the inning. Hernandez has 4 sacrifices. He was looking at Dan Jennings. Hey, what do you want me to do here? And he just said, get in the box and swing the bat. Or lay down a bunt. Strike 1. Told you in the opening comments, we're catching the Marlins at a real bad time. They are playing their best baseball of the year right now. Marlins are 14-8 since August 31st. And a roller. Kelly's got it. Long throw to first, and he got his man by a half step. Rojas to second, 2 outs, and the top of the order's coming up.
Nice play. Made a nice play to get the runner going to third and had to hurry on this one. Throw off his back foot to get him.
D. Gordon's 1 for 2. He had an infield hit in the first. Weber was late to the first base bag on a ground ball to Freddie Freeman, and that led to the first Miami run. And that one is bounced up the middle. Castro kept it on the infield. Throw back to third, and now they've got Rojas in a rundown. Thank you very much.
Nice play by Daniel. Good heads up play.
So Gordon will get credit for an infield hit. Rojas rounded third base too aggressively. The Braves threw behind him and end the inning.
that the Pope is in New York City. What you may not know is that there was some spirituality affecting the Braves bats while we were in New York City. And I'll tell you the story about that. At a parish in Orange, New Jersey, the man in charge is a guy by the name of Father George. Father George is a lifelong Braves fan, and it just so happened that one of his parishioners had a chance to get him to Citi Field to meet Freddie Gonzalez and some of the Braves. He actually spent an hour with Freddie before the game on Monday. Now, Freddie told me that he didn't ask him for anything extra, but he did leave him in the room with the bats. And an unnamed member of our team told me, you better believe we had him bless the bats as we watched his first pitch for Fernandez. And the bats were blessed. First time since early August, guys, we scored 6 runs in back-to-back games. I don't know if it was Father George, but we're going to need some of that here today.
We'll take whatever we can get, Andre.
Braves need 8 to win tonight. They're halfway there with 4 in the first as Maben leads off the Braves' 4th inning. And Fernandez missed inside. We always know the mystical, magical waters of the Miccosukee Canal do great things for the Braves.
Always seem to come to life here.
And Atlanta off to a 6-0 start in this ballpark this season. And 9 straight set down by Fernandez now, who got new life in the bottom of the first inning when the Marlins tied the game. I really love watching this guy pitch. I know he's a Marlins pitcher. Want to see the Braves beat him, but he is the real deal.
Yeah, he has the lead. He's out of that 4-run hole, and he's pitching like he's on fire.
There's a line drive by Oliveira into left field. That's a base hit to go along with a sac fly and an RBI for Hector. And there's the first Braves hit since the first inning.
Looked like a hanging breaking ball. Hammered it. Yep. Not one of his best sliders. And Hector didn't miss it.
That's fouled off the screen by Michael Bourne. Strike 1 for Michael, who flied out to left, and the Braves first. Now the 2-2 pitch for Michael is lined into left field. That's another hit the other way. So Bourne has his first hit.
Michael had a good series in New York, went 3 for 9. And a nice piece of hitting here on a ball moving away from him.
Todd Cunningham is the hitter. He'll bat for Ryan Kelly. Might recall earlier this year, Todd got a lot of playing time against the Marlins, and in fact has the highest batting average of any Brave against Miami pitching. Cunningham played in 4 games, 16 at bats. He had 9 hits. 8 of those hits were singles. He added a double in for good measure as well, but a lofty .563 batting average.
I remember they couldn't get him out to save their life. He was doing it left-handed and right-handed.
Yeah, we were calling him the reincarnation of Matt Diaz, the hitting fool who always wore out the Marlins down here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Little pop into left. Dietrich on the run. Diving try. Came up with it.
Thought it was going to drop in. There's something positive for the Marlins to hang their hat on for Dietrich's defense. Nice catch right on top of the turf.
That's not an easy transition, is it? When you're used to playing the infield, it's not just, hey, ball's in the air, go catch it.
Not at all. Not at all. Reading balls off the bat. Trusting your coaches and teammates to position you in the right place based on trends and how the pitcher's going to pitch the guy.
And the other part, too, this isn't exactly Wrigley Field. That's a big outfield he's got to try to cover with that lack of experience out there.
Well, he's got good speed, too. He just showed that. He scored from first on that double to straightaway left field.
Balls at a strike. And low to Markakis, who homered to lead off the game. Boy, things looked great for the Braves after the top half of the first. 4 runs came across against Jose Fernandez. But Ryan Weber didn't have any luck tonight. He surrendered 7 runs. Now Nick looks outside at a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. 2-1 the count. Oliveira at second. Michael Bourne, the runner, at first. 2 outs. And now 3-1. Fernandez couldn't get the ball down in the first inning. You can see from the Fox tracks he's trying to keep the ball low against Markakis. And now time granted for Mathis to talk about this big pitch.
Yeah, he's trying to work the back door, the outside corner, and he didn't get the call on the pitch before, and it kind of aggravated him. It may be that Mathis is reminding him that he's got a 3-run lead, and the best way to lose it is to start trying to pick on corners. He's got good stuff tonight, and he does. He's throwing hard. He just, as you said in the first inning, he was up. He's gotten the ball down since then.
Markakis pops it up left side. Prado gives chase over near the stands. He's going to lean in and make the grab. Martin Prado catches a Markakis pop-up in foul ground. And that ends the Atlanta 4th. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. Miami 7, Atlanta 4 in game 1.
Ever lace up the skates, and those smarts took him from the Carolinas straight to the Hall of Fame. Driven, Ron Francis, a hockey legend, tonight at 11 Eastern right here on Fox Sports South, presented by your local Toyota dealers. It was 4-0 Atlanta after a half inning. It's now 7-4 Marlins heading to the bottom of the fourth inning, and the Braves are on their third pitcher of the night.
Sugar Ray Marmon has not been out there in a while either. 8 days for him. Last worked against Toronto, gave up a home run in his 1 inning of work. Did some excellent work as a starter for Gwinnett at the end of the year. You saw a picture of Freddie Gonzalez in the dugout talking to Brian Snitker, the former third base coach for the Braves and now the Gwinnett manager, who's with the Braves on this road trip.
We've said it before. First of all, it's great having Brian back with the big league club. I mean, he is such a positive, friendly face, loves the organization, did great work for that Gwinnett ball club. Didn't realize this until I read it. The Gwinnett team finished 10 games over 500 this year. Okay, that's great work in and of itself. But when you factor in the number of roster moves that Brian Snitker and the Gwinnett Braves had to deal with because of the needs of the big league club, as Yelich smokes this one toward the gap in left center, that's going to roll up to the scoreboard. And Yelich is turning around second. He's going to try for three, and he's going to slide in safely. Leadoff triple for Yelich. His second three-base hit of the year.
Just his second? Really? That's surprising. I said earlier that he may not get to 300 when Brett Butler said he could. Well, you know what? I may have spoken too soon. He was at 290 before this triple that was slicing away from Maben.
He has an 8-game hitting streak against the Braves now. 17 hits in his last 31 at-bats against Atlanta pitching.
You hit a gapper here.
Yep.
Outfielders have got to get on their horse, and it better be a well-rested horse.
Well, from the standpoint of spaciousness, this is the Eastern Time Zone's version of Coors Field. The ball doesn't carry like it does in Denver. But you're talking 344 down the left field line, 386 to left, 418 to center, 392 to right, and 335 down the right field line. I mean, that's a mammoth pitcher's park.
And high fences.
Fly ball down the right field line. Markakis checks the wall, and he can't get there. That's fouled out of play. There's been some talk that to try to help their offense down here in Miami, they may consider changing the dimensions of the ballpark. That curved fence in center is the one that draws so much complaints from many around Major League Baseball. The high wall, the green garish color, but just the monstrous dimensions to that part of the stadium. And a line drive into left is going to add to the Miami lead. It's 8-4. Martin Prado another hit and another RBI. So Sugar Ray Marmon has been greeted rudely. A triple and a single, and nobody out in the inning.
These situations are so made for Martin Prado. Put his foot down quickly. Nice, easy swing. Didn't try to do too much. He's just trying to get the guy in from third base. And zapped one through the hole. You hit that ball to right field pretty deep. You know, that was foul and dropped out of reach of Markakis. But he gives you a professional at bat, knowing what he needs, what the team needs, and that's just to get that guy in.
So he's up to 58 runs batted in. And it's 8-4. Marlins in front. Already 13 hits for Miami. But to finish the story about the fences, there's talk they might move them in from the
right side of that sculpture in center field out toward the right center field gap.
Yeah, cut it across, straight across, and this would all maybe go away out where that curve is.
That was some excellent telestration there, by the way.
Thank you.
Can we do that again? Because I know there's something else that I know you would like to.
Well, there's just
adjust.
There's just another part of that I think will come into play.
No balls, 2 strikes to Justin Bour. And that one's up the middle, a base hit. Prado around second. He's going to dig for third, and he's going to make it. A single on an 0-2 pitch, and 3 consecutive hits begin the Miami 4th.
That would certainly help guys like Justin Bour if they bring the fences in a little bit out there. So if you cut across here, all that space behind it goes away.
Right.
And then hopefully a whole bunch of stuff goes away because you won't be able to see it and it won't matter anymore. Wouldn't that be pretty? I think so. Wishful thinking.
Folks, if you could have seen my partner's face light up when he got a chance to draw over the sculpture, it would have made your night. Boy, little else has gone right for the Braves in this one. It's 8-4. And the Marlins threatening for more. Here's Ozuna, a couple of infield hits, and he's scored a run. To third. Second for 1. On to first 2. A run will score. That'll bring home Martin Prado. No RBI for Ozuna, but that adds to the lead. And now there are 2 outs. Nine to 4. Derek Dietrich is the batter. Eight games left on the schedule for the Braves after this one tonight. And the game's dwindling down to a precious few for everybody in the big leagues, especially so for those fighting for playoff spots. Still some great races, especially in the American League where the wild card race is on, and boy, they could have a gigantic mess if that thing ends up in a 2- or 3-way tie, which is possible out west, or out in the American League, I should say. Texas and Houston and Minnesota and the Angels are all fighting for division leads or wild card positioning. And don't count out Cleveland either. They've got maybe the most difficult hurdles to overcome, but they're still mathematically alive, and very much so.
As much as I've been pulling for Minnesota and Paul Molitor as the real dark horses of that deal, they've got a real tough road to finish the season. They got to play Detroit and Cleveland on the road, and they finish with Kansas City.
Dietrich with a gapper. And that one's off the base of the fence. He's thinking about a double, and that's where he'll stop. A triple, 2 singles, and a double off Sugar Ray here in the 4th.
So you got to ask yourself, is he rusty because he hasn't been pitching, or has he not been pitching because of these types of results?
Mathis cleared the bases with a double last time up. 9 runs on 15 hits for Miami already. Ball, one strike. Most hits in a game for Miami is 21 this year. That came on July 11th against the Reds. And that one's headed for the gap. Maben on the run. Diving try. Can't get it. That's out in the Bermuda Triangle. Mathis around second. He's on his way to third. He will stand there with a three-bagger.
They have about 6 or 7 players on their team that if they had hit this ball, that's an inside the Parker. But it turned out to be the backup catcher. He's very happy with a triple.
Second triple for the Marlins in the inning. They have 39 of them for the season. They now lead 10-4. And here's Rojas. 16 Miami hits now.
11 RBIs now for Mathis, who had 7 on the year.
There's strike for Rojas. It's 0-1. Arbuckle tells us that of Mathis's 11 RBIs this year, 6 have come against the Braves.
Yeah, I was just looking at the last game the Braves played the Fish up in Atlanta. He got a start in that last game. He was hitting 114. He was 8 for 70 going into that start, and he had an RBI double in the second, a sacrifice fly in the fourth. They went 1 for 3, and tonight he's really broken out.
It's the ghost of Mike Redmond against Tom Glavine.
Yes,
unfortunately. Sorry, Tommy, had to bring that up. No balls, 2 strikes.
Oh, we're going to be getting into a lot of things.
Another hit, another run. If Sugar Ray is trying to play him with the rope-a-dope, it ain't working. They are delivering haymaker after haymaker. 4 runs are in this inning. Six hits in this inning. And now Fernandez with a gigantic lead. Will be the 8th hitter of the inning. Our hit to pitches ratio by our staff tonight has left a little bit to be desired.
Yes.
Weber gave up 9 hits on 47 pitches. Marimon's given up 6 hits on 25 pitches.
Put it this way, Alfonso Marquez behind the plate hasn't had to call many.
Fly ball to right, and this one should be caught by Markakis. And mercifully, the 4th inning is in the books. 4 more runs, 6 more hits. One word describes this one so far tonight: yuck. Fernandez, but the result could turn out to be absolutely terrific for him.
Well, he made the last out of the inning, but he was already ready to go, hatless, gloveless, while waiting for everybody else to get on the field.
But he's also lossless on his home mound. He has not lost a home decision in his big league career. And with a 7-run lead, he might not need a cap to get 3 more outs. With his pitch count climbing up, he will have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Braves. Again, we were told before the game his pitch count, they'd like to keep it around 95 in tonight's game. He's at 78 pitches. And he missed inside to Castro. 1 ball, no strikes. Johnny Allen and Lamar Hoyt are the only other men that started 16-0 in their home careers. Dietrich and Rojas. It's the shortstop, 1 out. Johnny Allen did it in the 1932 and 33 seasons. Lamar Hoyt in 1980 through 1982. And those 2 men are the only 2 who have done what Fernandez has done since 1900.
Boy, Lamar Hoyt had it working then too, early 80s.
And a base hit by Freeman to right, and Fernandez just can't get him out consistently. Freddie's got 2 more hits against him tonight. One out for A.J. Pierzynski, 1 aboard.
Freddie gets to first and he breathes hard like that. That tells me his wrist hurt even on that swing. See him taking that glove off? That's painful. Hits always make you feel better, but it doesn't mean the pain goes away.
Yeah, and he had a day off too.
Yeah.
And wrists are, I would guess, really scary things.
They are for a hitter. Well, they are for everybody, but especially for anybody that's a hitter.
Just asked Giancarlo Stanton about that. As AJ fouls one back, 1 ball, 1 strike. That missed inside. 2-1. And AJ walks. 2 on, 1 out. That's the first walk for Fernandez tonight. He struck out but 2 men.
He was asking Marquez where that missed, asking if it was down, and Marquez said yes, and he nodded okay.
Phillies are winning big over Washington tonight. Aaron Altair had an inside the park grand slam at Nationals Park this evening. And the Mets are beating the Reds 4-0 in the 6th. Mets magic number is 3 entering tonight's play.
You know who starts really doing some scoreboard watching? The visiting clubhouse men.
That's right. That's right. Toward third and past Prado. He played that one off to the side, and that'll score a run. Andrelton Simmons on his way to second base, and he'll stand there. The Braves pick up their 5th tally. Freeman scores from second. And they're at second and third for Fernandez with 1 out of the inning.
I'm going to assume they scored that a hit. They did.
Good. So give Simmons an RBI double. He has a 2 RBI night tonight. And here's Cameron Maybin. Yeah, the visiting clubhouse guys have a lot of heavy lifting to do if a club clinches a playoff spot in the visitors' ballpark. And the Cincinnati clubhouse staff is on call for the Mets.
After that, it's the Phillies.
Right.
And the Phillies clubhouse guys say, no, go ahead. You guys party all you want over there.
Right.
Have a good old time.
There you go. The other big game today was at Wrigley Field. Cubs and Pirates head to head. Chicago trying to cut into the Pittsburgh lead for the top wild card spot, but lost 3-2 today at home. They have the tying run at third base in the ninth inning with one out. And Mark Melanson struck out 2 hitters in a row to preserve a 1-run victory for the Pirates, who now lead the Cubs by 4.5 games for home field advantage in that 1-game playoff.
That's at least 51 saves for Melanson. What a year he's had.
Out of play by Maven. Quickly 0-2 your count. Well, the Cubs and Pirates have a couple more games left. Pittsburgh also has a set left with St. Louis. So the wild card shuffling has not been completely decided yet. But if Pittsburgh has the top spot, they'll host that 1-game playoff for a 3rd consecutive year. In the air toward left center actually. And it'll be Yelich with the catch. Runner at third, Przinsky tags, and he will come home and score. And he almost ran over Fernandez, who was standing right at the back of the left-hand batter's box. Maven with a sac fly earns his 2nd RBI of the night. And it's a real shame. The Braves have tagged Fernandez for 6 runs, but they still trail by 5 runs.
Long way to go. Once old AJ gets all that moving, it's kind of hard to stop, so you better get out of the way.
So here's Oliveira. He's got an RBI and a single. And didn't get the slider. Strike 1. So here we are, 93 pitches, right around where the Marlins wanted Fernandez to end his night.
Exactly right, though, Chip, on a night where you get 6 runs off this guy in his home ballpark. And it's not enough. That's the real crime of it all.
High pop into shallow right. It'll be Ozuna, and that will retire the side. Fernandez, 96 pitches. Only the 2nd time he's given up 6 runs in a big league game, but he's fortunate to lead 11-6. innings here in South Florida. Time tonight for our AT&T U-verse trivia question as D. Gordon makes his way to the plate. He's on pace for a 200-hit season. Only 2 Marlins have ever had 200 hits in a year. Who are they?
2 Marlins, 200 hits.
They've answered.
Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah, well, that's a good one. I was thinking Luis Castillo and Jose Reyes.
Castillo's a good call. I like him more than Reyes. I don't think Jeff Conine would have had 200, but he had one year that he hit in the high 300s.
Yeah. Andrew McKirahan, the 4th Braves pitcher tonight, and fouled away by Gordon. Ryan Lavarnway has checked into the game for the Braves. Been a while since Ryan has been in harness. Remember, A.J. Brzezinski took a foul ball to the right collarbone earlier tonight. And that one almost picked off Yelich, who was standing in the on-deck circle. Helmet went flying. Yelich fortunate to get out of the way.
You can laugh about it now, but there's been some scary stuff happen to guys in on-deck circles in Florida.
Fly ball to right. That'll get down for Gordon. A base hit. Juan Encarnacion, I believe, was the man who got hit in the face with a foul ball.
Yeah, and it pretty much ended his career. And then Logan Morrison got nailed.
When we were here.
Yeah, at the old ballpark.
So 24 3-hit games for D. Gordon now. The league leader in hits with 193 of them now. And here's Yelich. He's doubled, he's tripled, he's walked, and he's scored twice. 18 Miami hits, 3 away from matching their season high of 21. Gordon's running, and that one got away from Lavarnway. Gordon belly flops into first, or second I should say, with his 54th steal. Billy Hamilton's having shoulder surgery, so there's another race for D. Gordon, not just the hits lead in the National League, but the stolen base lead too. I think Hamilton has 57.
I think so too.
It is 57, so he's now 3 away from tying the Red Speedster.
That's too bad that ball got away, because I would have liked to have seen that contest between Gordon and Lavarnway.
So AJ out of the game after the top of the 5th inning, and it's Lavarnway, which means Christian Bethancourt is the last remaining catching option for the Braves on the bench. And a strike to Yelich, 3-1 your count. Last time Ryan Lavarnway caught was August 23rd.
A month ago. Goodness.
Little pop, that's going to drop into right center field for a hit. Gordon's going to streak around third, and he's going to score without a play. So Yelich has the single, the double, and the triple. He needs the homer for a cycle. Folks, we're in the 5th inning. They've scored 12 runs. They have 19 hits.
And they just keep initiating each pitcher that comes in, giving each one a little dose of what they're doing tonight. Christian Yelich in that series in Atlanta was 7 for 11, including a 4-hit game the last game. He's 3 for 3 with a walk tonight.
He's hitting 293 now.
He might get 300 tonight.
Here's Prado, 2 singles. One of the many things we love and admire about Martin Prado is not his obvious talent, but how much he cares. Walking off the field after the Braves finished hitting in the 5th inning, Martin Prado was almost dog cussing himself for not being able to handle that ball off the bat of Andrelton Simmons down the third base line. I mean, he was upset with himself, head down, angry. First man to greet him was Jose Fernandez, put his arm around him and tried to cheer him up. As this one's back to the mound, McCurahan leads Simmons. Look at the acrobatic work of Andrelton Simmons. Yelich never got to the second base bag. Simmons handled that throw on the run. Had trouble with the transfer, got his footing back, and then flipped to first for a beautiful double play.
Had to throw off the wrong foot. Right there. Kirahan was smart not to wait on him to get there. Lead him, let him get to it at the bag, and turn it.
So that clears the bases, and it brings up Bohr. 1 ball, no strikes.
Their bullpen busy, so I would guess that Fernandez is done for the night.
96 pitches for him. Bohr, by the way, needs a triple for the cycle. His 3-run homer in the first inning tied it, his 7th 3-run homer this year. Remember the movie The Natural?
Yes.
It reminds me of The Whammer. That was Joe Don Baker's character in the movie. Big barrel-chested hitter. And a ground ball to second. And the throw to first will retire the side. The Marlins pick up another run on 2 more hits. And they've got a big lead as we hit inning number 6. To try to play the role of the spoiler, that's Aaron Altair. It got away in center field from Michael Taylor. And here they come. Ball dropped. And it's an inside the park grand slam for the Phillies outfielder. And they enjoy a big lead in Washington, who are trying to stave off elimination in the next couple of days. Another big story in Major League Baseball tonight. Carlos Martinez, the fine starter for the St. Louis Cardinals,
yes,
who's pitching tonight, left the game, shoulder tightness. that would impact things in the playoff race.
Yeah, boy.
A 14-game winner, had done such a great job filling in for Adam Wainwright. And that's one question mark that some have about the Cardinals, is their pitching, believe it or not.
Not the time of year for that kind of stuff.
Nope. Line drive over short by Michael Bourne. As the new hurler's on the mound for the Marlins, a young man named Brian Ellington, who we're told has really helped stabilize the late inning portion of the Miami bullpen. They've had a couple of guys really step up and do good work for them. Ellington one, Kyle Barraclaw another, who came from the Cardinals in the Steve Cishek deal. Ellington called up from AAA August 3rd. And Lavarnway will greet him with a man aboard. A lot of time left. He's got to stop them from scoring and keep trying to add on to their 6-run tally.
You know, this guy could bring it 95 to 98 with a curveball. Went to about 3 different junior colleges and finally got a chance with some people who liked his arm angle, and he's just gotten better and better. Been a long time since Brian's had an at bat against live pitching too, let alone catch one.
That's out of play, foul at 98.
I want to show you something on that inside the park home run.
Yeah.
Check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different Nationals lined up on that play from center field that turned into a inside the park grand slam. 6 of the 9 on the diamond are all in a line for that relay.
Wow. That's a good catch. One ball, 2 strikes, and popped up. Maybe they were practicing for the Pope's visit. And stand in line, you know, to go greet the Pontiff when he made his way to Washington.
The Nationals would welcome some divine intervention right now because they're sinking like a rock.
Yeah, the Mets are.
Is that 8-2?
8-2 in the 8th. Mets up 9-0 in Cincinnati tonight. And you were right when we just saw New York. Braves played a great series against the Mets, took 2 out of 3, and there was some angst, I guess, among the New York faithful. You said, look, lead's too big, and the Nationals are running out of time. The Mets are going to win the division. I think, obviously, you're going to be proven right here in the next couple of days. And then that sets up another race for New York, and the race is to try to catch the Dodgers as far as the records go. Sharply hit. Prado diving stop. There's one. Gordon used the bag for his own defense and turned a beautiful double play. Sharply hit. Well turned. 2 out.
Yeah, it's too bad for Lavarnway, who had a good at bat, his first in a long time, and he gets robbed not just of a hit, but they turn it into a double play.
Mets enter play tonight a game and a half behind the Dodgers for the 2nd best record in the National League. And with that 2nd best record would come home field advantage in a first-round divisional matchup.
And that would be big. Mets have been good at home. Dodgers have not been good on the road.
I think the Dodgers have one more series left with the Giants. You know, they would love to wreck LA's playoff hopes, or at least wreck their path to home field advantage. The Mets have 3 remaining with the Nationals. Those games will be in New York. So still a lot to play for the Dodgers, the Mets, Cubs, and Pirates. The Cardinals have already clinched their playoff spot. And they're trying to chase down 100 wins, but boy, losing Martinez tonight, if it's serious, that's a tough blow.
Hey, the Pirates could win 100 games.
Yeah, they could. And they've got 3 left with St. Louis, too.
Yes, that was their 94th win today.
Swinging bunt. Ellington's got it with a bare hand and throws to first in time. And that will retire the side. He gave up a leadoff hit, but a double play and a comebacker sends us to the home 6th. Freddie Gonzalez is going to make a defensive substitution. Adonis Garcia is going to come in to play left field. Michael Bourne will switch over to play right. The evening comes to a close for Nick Markakis, who will finish his night 1 for 4 with a leadoff home run. So in the home 6th, it'll be Ozuna, Dietrich, and Mathis coming up against McIlrahan. He too surrendered a run tonight.
Not one strikeout for Braves pitchers tonight. These fish have been up there hacking away.
So Ozuna looks at a ball, 1 ball, no strikes. I like this guy, Ozuna. I don't know if he's fallen out of disfavor here in Miami or not. This ball's hit towards center. And that's playable for Maben, who says he's got it, and he does. Center fielders that can hit 23 homers, drive in 85, and score 72 are pretty valuable commodities.
That was last year. And I'd say he's fallen out of favor this year when they sent him back to AAA because he wasn't playing well, wasn't working hard enough, and they tried to get his attention as such. Now we've talked about him in clutch situations when the Braves come in to pitch to him with the game on the line, runners on base. He chases breaking balls like crazy, and he can hit anybody's fastball, but he's got a big hole in the breaking ball area from right-handers.
Every Marlins starter has at least 1 hit tonight, and Dietrich hits 1 to second. That'll be easy. 2 outs. McIlrahan's restoring some order here in the middle innings, and that'll bring up Mathis, who's doubled, tripled, scored, and driven home 4 more runs. Rockies lead the Dodgers. That's 4-1 in the 3rd inning. That's something the Mets will pay attention to. Cardinals 1, Milwaukee nothing, 3rd inning. Again, Carlos Martinez hurt in that game. And Arizona's in San Diego later on tonight.
The Dodgers have a losing record on the road, 35-39.
Well, they've got Greinke, they've got Kershaw, right? After that,
equalizers.
What do you think about the Dodgers staff?
They don't need a whole lot more. Their bullpen is good for the most part. Luis Avilan lately has been pretty good for them, and Kenley Jansen's done a good job once he got back healthy. I'd say that the only concern for the Dodgers right now is kind of like that for the Angels, and that is, are they going to score enough runs to support their pitching?
And if they run into Harvey and Syndergaard and DeGrom and Matz, that's certainly understandable why you'd think that way.
Boy, Matz was good again. I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen Alex Wood's starts, his lines, last couple. I saw one where it was 8 innings, a 1-hit shutout ball.
It seems like it's been one good, one okay, one bad, one good.
Right. But they could go anywhere on the road and win 2 in a row with those two guys, Greinke and Kershaw, and then go home and figure it out in a best-of-5 series.
2-2 pitch is cut on and missed, and a nice inning for McKirahan. He got the Marlins in order. 1-2-3. That's our first perfect inning and the first strikeout for the Braves staff tonight. Yellowwood bringing the lumber feature.
Boy, it didn't take long to bring it tonight for Nick Markakis. First batter of the ball game, high fastball, tomahawked one into the seats in deep right center, where we're told is one of the hardest places to hit a home run in this ballpark. That part of the yard, his third of the year.
You know what? When you're living a charmed life, you get games like this. Here's Jose Fernandez, a 1.11 ERA in his career at home. Trying to go 17-0 on his home mound, set an all-time record. He gives up 6 runs, which is more than twice as many earned runs as he's ever allowed in his home ballpark. And he leads the game 12-6.
Yeah, it's charmed. And he may carry that right on into next year if they decide not to start him again.
Amazing. As Daniel Castro leads off the 7th. Castro's 1 for 3 tonight. Again, Freddie Gonzalez had 2 lineups. One that had Jace Peterson and one that had Daniel Castro. He changed to this lineup tonight at the very last minute. It's up and in. 3 balls, no strikes.
After this series, the Marlins are back out on the road to finish the season at Tampa Bay and at Philadelphia. His next start would be scheduled for Tampa Bay.
And 4 straight with a 6-run lead. That helps, and that's going to draw a rebuke from Mr. Mathis. Good start for the Braves in the 7th. And Freddie Freeman is going to be the hitter. Freeman's got 2 hits and 2 runs scored.
I like that rebuke. I like pulling out all the stops. Get a day off. Get a chance to go through the dictionary.
Thesaurus too. I mean, that's a very exciting Thursday night for me in Miami. As Freeman has a healthy cut, didn't get it. Strike 1. Missed outside. 2 balls and a strike. Nice crowd tonight. 24,626. They do turn out in much greater numbers every time Jose Fernandez pitches in Miami. That one headed for a vacant upper deck. There is some intrigue surrounding this Marlins ball club. Some published reports surfaced in the last several days that they have begun interviewing potential managerial candidates here in Miami. Of course, Dan Jennings took over as the interim manager after Shelby Miller nearly no-hit the Marlins here. Mike Redmond was dismissed very early in the season. As this ball is hammered deep towards center field, Yelich back onto the warning track at the fence. That one is gone. Woo! A mammoth home run for Freddie Freeman, who has a 3-hit night. And the Braves are creeping ever closer. It's 12-8.
At sore wrist, Freddie Freeman is 5 for his last 6, and the one out was a line drive to first that was caught. And tonight he's got a double and this rocket home run to deep right center into the bushes. Pitch up and away from him. This guy throws gas. That's still a long way to go.
That's why that walk was so important. And now Pedro Siriaco's going to hit for Andrew McKirahan, who went 2 innings of 1-run ball. Pedro at 254 for the year. He shoots one toward right. And Ozuna will put the squeeze on that. 1 man down. Back to that managerial story. We are led to believe that Dan Jennings has been told if he wants the general manager's job here in Miami, he can have that job again. That was the position he held when he was asked to come down to the dugout and manage the Marlins. There's no word as to whether or not Jennings will accept that position once again in Miami. But we've read that Manny Acta has been spoken to, former Nationals and Indians manager, and Dusty Baker, who wants to manage again, has perhaps talked to Miami about this manager's job should it open up.
I read a story today that was dealing with both Dusty and Ozzie Guillen and how they both want to get back in, and that there was, at least according to Ozzie, a discussion between the Marlins and Ozzie, since he was being paid by them, to come back and manage the team at least for this year after Redmond was dismissed. And Ozzie was all for it. However, the Marlins backed off that the story goes that they were in negotiations with some new sponsors and a new TV deal, and they didn't know how politically correct it might be to bring Ozzie back, given the problems that he had suffered through here, his comments about Fidel Castro, et cetera, et cetera. So he didn't get the job because of that. The Marlins, in need of all the sponsors they can get, didn't want to shoo anybody away because of that.
So we'll see if Ozzie gets a second chance, or a third chance, I should say, somewhere other than Miami. As this ball's popped up to the left side, Prado is there, Rojas is there, it'll be Martin. There's the second out.
Well, as Ozzie said, I've learned a lot of lessons, I've matured a lot, and if I get another job, nothing will be off the record. Meaning he trusted too many people with comments he said that then all of a sudden became published.
Here's Maben. 2 in, 2 out, 7th inning. Give the Braves credit. They could have laid down when they fell behind 12-4. They haven't. It's now 12-8. Miami 19 hits. The Braves have 11 in the game. Well, whoever gets this job is going to have to know, and I mean this with no disrespect, but let's face it, Jeffrey Loria owns this ball club. He is a very, very mercurial and hands-on owner. Two balls, no strikes, and fouled back. I think they've had something along the lines of 10 managers in the last 7 years here, some crazy number like that.
Cameron's really scuffling right now. He's got a bad left shoulder, and even on a good swing like that, he's suffering with it, trying to play through it.
Two balls and a strike for Maben. That's fouled at the plate.
And if you've got a sore shoulder, you could probably somehow figure it out with your back shoulder. That front shoulder's got to do a lot of pulling with that bottom hand, and you don't have any strength there. It's tough.
And those numbers might be the product of that medical issue.
Absolutely part of it.
2-2 count. Slow roller back to the mound. Bare hand play. What a pickup. If he doesn't make that play, Maben might leg out an infield hit. Instead, he's robbed, and that sends us to the stretch. But a leadoff walk and a mammoth 2-run homer by Freddie Freeman into the seats in right center makes a game of it. It's 12-8 in Miami. A50 today and vote on the current matchup. Henry Aaron's 715th home run versus Sid Bream's slide in 92. Go to Braves.com/A50 and help us crown the most memorable moment.
Did you ask me for my vote? No, you didn't. I'm going to give it to you anyway.
Joe, what's your vote?
Okay. That's Danny Barawa. He's going to be on the pitch tonight, and he'll be the 5th Braves pitcher. Sid Bream's slide was instrumental, obviously, in the Braves in the playoffs that year. That was huge. But Henry's home run was Major League Baseball history.
Yeah, how do you top that?
Yeah, that's the one.
Line drive to right by Rojas. That's how Barawa's greeted.
Yep.
Boy,
welcome to the game.
Yeah, first batters just ambushed the Braves pitchers all night tonight. Weber gave up a leadoff hit. Kelly gave up a leadoff double. Marimon a leadoff triple. McCarrahan a leadoff single, and now Barawa a leadoff single.
That wasn't even a good pitch. This is Tomas Talis.
And he tried to butt, and that ball's foul. Steve, Reich 1 to Talis.
This name sounds like a good movie title, or maybe a mystery TV series.
Sounds like the star of Kojak is what it sounds like to me. Telis Savala.
Tune in at 8 tonight on Fox for Tomas Talis.
Yes. Double play ball. There's Uno. There's Dos.
He's in double trouble tonight.
Yes, he is. 2 outs. And here's D. Gordon. 3 more hits for Gordon. 24 hits against the Braves this year in 75 at-bats. Career year in hits, homers, and RBIs. Boy, you wonder if the Dodgers are thinking, oh, what are we doing? Get rid of this guy.
Uh-huh.
And not only was it the trade of D. Gordon for Andrew Heaney, they then flipped Heaney, who's been a terrific young pitcher for the Angels, for Howie Kendrick. Fine player, but Kendrick's a free agent. And Kendrick then got hurt, and then they had to go out and trade for Chase Utley. So they traded D. Gordon and Andrew Heaney and the controllable salary years that they have for Howie Kendrick, who is a great player in the American League, but hasn't done as much with the Dodgers this year.
It didn't work out well. And then the Dodgers had to try Jock Peterson leading off, and that worked okay until his first time through the league. Now he's batting 8th. And he has really struggled in the second half of the season. All D. Gordon has done this year in the National League is lead. Well, he's second now in the National League in hitting, first in hits, and got all those other categories.
So unless there was something else going on behind the scenes that we're not privy to, that's a real head scratcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Gordon trying to catch Bryce Harper for the batting title in the league. Harper started play tonight with a .339 mark. He had all kinds of trouble with Mr. Eichhoff of the Phillies tonight. He struck him out 3 times. And the Phillies have won that game, by the way, 8-2 in Washington. The Nationals are all but eliminated from playoff competition. And if you had said in the early days of spring training that on September 25th the Washington Nationals would be going home and not going to the playoffs, much less winning the East, I think everybody in baseball would have taken that bet hands down.
How many times did we say this season?
To third, Oliveira. Strong throw that pulled Freeman's wrist into the charging base runner for the 3rd out.
But beginning with the first week of the season, how many times do we say, oh, well, it's a slow start for Washington, but they'll get their players back and they'll be fine?
They weren't. And the Mets' magic number about to be 1 to win the East. Visit the AT&T Uverse trivia question. D. Gordon's on pace for 200 hits this year. There are just 2 Marlins who've had 200 in a year. Who are they?
Well, I'm going to stick with Cabrera, Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah, you got to pick 2. I'll pick 2. That way we.
Oh, okay. I'll go with Cabrera and
Juan Pierre, Luis Castillo.
And I'll go Juan Pierre.
Okay, I'll go Juan Pierre and Luis Castillo. I'll go with the 2 fast guys and see if we get it covered.
Oh, Hanley. Schneikes. Wasn't even
thinking about
man
that.
Cabrera in there.
That gummit. And Ramirez benched for the rest of the year. He's been injured for the Boston Red Sox. As you see Andre Rienzo take over. Boston, by the way, named a new general manager. Mike Hazen is the new GM for the Red Sox. Former Braves general manager Frank Wren was also named vice president of baseball operations under Dave Dombrowski. I believe that was announced today. Ben Cherington out as the GM. Gave big money to Handy Ramirez, Pablo Sandoval, and Rick Porcello.
Certain ring to that. I don't know. Heard that somewhere.
Ground ball toward third. Prado charges with a bare hand, throws on the run, and it's an infield hit for Hector Olivera. And that's how the Braves' 8th begins. Olivera's had a nice night. That's his 2nd hit, and that's a start. Braves need 4 to tie.
You know what? Bohr had come off the bag like he was just going to, he didn't think Martin would make the throw, and then he was just going to catch it, and then he realized, oh my goodness, he might throw him out. And he had to quickly shift his feet to get his foot on the bag just in case.
Michael Bourne hits. And the native of Sao Paulo, Brazil, Andre Rienzo, missed downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, Olivera gets a lot of those rollover hits.
That's at the knees. It's an even count. Bourne has a 2-hit night. Teams are combined for 20 runs, 32 hits.
Pretty good breaking ball right there.
Jose Fernandez has the lead. He is in prime position to go 17-0 at home. That would be a new big league record.
Rienzo, high 80s, low 90s with a cutter. And that curve you just saw, the one that Michael swung and missed at.
Rienzo's pitched in the big leagues with the White Sox. And that one's dumped over third. That'll drop in for a hit. 2 on, nobody out for Ryan Lavarnway. 3-hit night for Michael Bourne.
Things are cooking. I remember that missile that Lavarnway hit into the Rockies bullpen in Colorado. Deep right center. And he hit the ball hard his first time up tonight. First at bat in a long time, and he got robbed.
Haven't gotten any update on A.J. Brzezinski tonight. Hope he's all right. You know, Bethancourt's had the sore thumb. Don't know if he's able to catch. So Lavarnway pressed into duty midway through tonight, and he just missed a double. Strike 1 for Ryan Lavarnway.
Right there, a strike, 0-2. That was bounced up there. Good stop indeed. Hope the skipper Bobby Cox is watching the game tonight. He usually is. Happy anniversary to Bobby Cox. 5 years ago today, he picked up his 2,500th managerial win. Joining Connie Mack, John McGraw, and Tony La Russa. Skipper, we're thinking of you tonight. Hope you and the family are doing great. Pitch is popped out of play, fouls. How about a comeback win in Miami for Atlanta tonight? Celebrate that milestone for the great Bobby Cox. Braves have a shot to add on here in the 8th. They're down 12-8.
Boy, that was right off his thumbnails. Started in and ran in. Got a piece of it to stay alive.
Good battle working here.
Hanging tough on some tough pitches. Too close to take and trying to make sure he puts the ball in play and maybe drives in a run or two here.
Adonis Garcia is on deck. He came on for Nick Markakis. He went around. LeVar way out on a check swing. There's the first out of the inning, and it will be Garcia. 2 on, 1 away.
Got him on that one. In, and then the slider down and away. Couldn't stop his swing.
You know, when that happens, you see the hitter look down, and they look at their feet, and they paw at the dirt, and they just don't want to look down the first base line, knowing that fate's in the hands of the umpire at first, and this time Tom Hallion rang him up. We'll get Tom behind the plate tomorrow night. That's a treat. I'm watching him work the dish. That distinctive strike 3 call. There haven't been many strikeouts in tonight's game. A lot of contact. The Marlins staff has a total of 3 strikeouts. The Braves pitchers have struck out 1. There have been 33 hits.
Been a couple of bloops, but everything else has been solid.
One ball, one strike. Down the left field line. He kept that fair. It's in the corner. Oliveira scores. Bourne around third. He gets waved home. He will score standing up. And the Braves are suddenly down just 2 runs. It's 12-10, and the tying run will come to the plate.
How about Adonis Garcia and how many big hits he's gotten for the Braves? in the time he's been up. Kept it just fair. Had fast runners aboard, and Bourne scores from first and knocks Rienzo out of the game. For Garcia, his 12th double to go with 8 homers and 169 at bats.
He's from a hidden town in Cuba, Ciego de Avila, the hometown of the great Tony Perez. 12-10, Miami Braves threatening late. They'll bring the tying run to the plate. What a night.
Every day.
Non-stop action, heart-pounding excitement, historic performances. Don't miss the 2015 postseason beginning October 6th. Go to MLB.com/postseason for a full schedule. My partner will be busy with our friends at TBS this postseason. Can't wait to hear Joe and Brian Anderson get together for their playoff run. That'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully Atlanta can have some late fun tonight. It looked awfully bleak midway through this game. It was 11-4 Marlins after 4 innings. The Braves have outscored them 6-1 since. They're within 2 as Brian Morris becomes their 4th pitcher to work tonight.
And away go.
Morris might have one responsibility, and that would be to get Castro, because Freddie Freeman's up. They have a left-hander working in the bullpen.
I would guess that that's done in their bullpen left-handed. Morris throws hard, mid-90s, with a very hard slider and a curve. Which is a little unusual in that a reliever typically has one or the other, not both. Slider and a curve. And that looked like that short slider that he just threw at 89. That is done, ready.
Sharply hit. That's through for a single. Here comes Garcia to third. He will be stopped. Atlanta has him first and third now with one out. Castro with his second hit. He reaches for a third time tonight. And now Dan Jennings has to decide who's going to try to retire Freddie Freeman. They've had very little luck doing that already tonight. 3 hits for Freeman, including a long 2-run homer his last time up. And it will be Dunn versus Freeman with the tying runs aboard for the Braves. 4 hits in the 8th inning for Atlanta. This crazy duel continues. 35 hits combined tonight, and we're not done yet.
your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places.
Wild night in Miami. 12-10 Marlins lead. The Braves cooking in the 8th inning. First and third. Freddie Freeman is coming up. He will face former Brave Mike Dunn, who makes appearance number 70.
Mike Dunn, as per usual, has done a good job for these guys. He's typically pretty tough on lefties, fastball, slider, and he's been pretty tough on Freddie Freeman in his career. Freddie just 3 for 23 against him, a home run included. But take a look at this. Most RBIs in the East versus the East since 2012. Freddie Freeman, it's not even close when you get to second place.
Well, he'll try to add to that total here. Even a fly ball could bring the Braves to within a run. And Dunn missed downstairs. Nick Swisher, a switch hitter, is the man on deck.
That's the pitcher's spot.
Braves allowed the Marlins just 1 run since the start of the 5th inning. That's the difference in the game to this point, but the Braves still have some work to do. 2 balls, no strikes. They're down 12-10. Didn't get it.
Good patience. Freddie so much loves that first pitch, but he laid off 2 sliders and then the fastball. And real good chance he's going to get a green light here.
He did. And it's popped up. That's slicing into the stands, however. And it's a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Bases are loaded. Dunn couldn't get Freeman. Now the advantage for the Braves. They've got the switch hitting Nick Swisher coming up.
I think the whole key to that at bat was the very first pitch, because Freddie's so aggressive on the first pitch, and he laid off a slider, and after facing Dunn so many times, he has a pretty good pattern about how he's going to start him and how he likes to get him out. He laid off the slider, and that led to a 5-pitch walk.
So no place to put Nick Swisher. Bases are loaded.
1 for 2 with a double against him.
Ball 1. Can the Braves complete a Miami miracle tonight?
No kidding. What a comeback. Almost there.
Swisher 2 for 5 this year as a pinch hitter. He's ahead 1-0. A lot of gaps to play with for Nick. Good cut, foul back.
96 fastball.
Ozuna throws very well in right. Yelich is a Gold Glover in center. Not sure about Dietrich's arm in left. Let's see if the former Indian can hit one into the Clevelander. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike. Mathis speared that. 2-1 from Dunn.
Dunn pitched yesterday. He pitched the day before that. Both games against Philadelphia, an inning each time. So maybe this 3rd day in the row is getting to him. 2 total innings, 2 hits, a run, no walks, a strikeout in those efforts. Good pitch to hit there.
Andrelton Simmons is on deck. The Marlins are on their 3rd pitcher of the inning.
Put it in play. Anything in play gets a run in. It makes it a 1-run game, even a double play. Excuse me, the 1 out, it would get him out of the inning. But no strikeout.
Dunn fell behind. He's battled back. He's about to make his 5th pitch. And it's low. Now we're cooking. Full count, no place to put Swisher. He's got to throw a strike or it costs him a run.
Earlier in the game with a 4 or 5 run lead, he'd just throw one down Broadway. He doesn't want to do that now, but if he's not careful, he'll walk in a run and put the potential tying run at 3rd.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball, foul. We'll do it again. Braves have won 5 of 6 games. The Marlins have won 14 of their last 22. Something's got to give tonight. It looked like it was going to get out of hand for the Marlins. The Braves have come charging back. They've scored 6 of the last 7 runs combined in the game to make it a 12-10 score. They've got them loaded for Swisher, 1 out in the 8th. And another payoff pitch. He walked him. A bases loaded walk will bring home the 11th Atlanta run. Garcia will touch the dish. 1-run game for Andrelton Simmons. Back-to-back walks from Dunn in relief.
And another pitching change. How about this, folks?
So Rienzo gives up 3 runs in 1/3 of an inning. A runner at 3rd belongs to Morris. The runners at 1st and 2nd belong to Dunn. And the Marlins will need a 4th pitcher in the 8th inning to protect a 1-run lead and only 1 out. Wow. Miami leads Atlanta. Our final 3 road games of the regular season. 2 more to follow. Here are your Chevron probable starters for the middle game of the series.
Justin Nicolino coming off a pretty good start himself last time out as one of the young guns for the Marlins, a left-hander, 3-4 on the year. He'll face the hottest pitcher on the Braves staff. Julio Teheran has pitched great baseball over the last 6 weeks, and he'll be back at it. He started the season here for the Braves.
So Kyle Barraclough, the former Cardinal farmhand acquired for Steve Cishek, is pitching in his 23rd game, and as we told you, he's really helped stabilize things at the back end of the Miami bullpen. Matt Whistler's on to pinch run at first base for Swisher, and Andrelton Simmons is the hitter and takes strike 1.
This guy throws hard. That was his slider, but he throws 94 to 97. Short arm action.
Andrelton puts the ball in play. He also, however, leads the team in double play balls with 19. And he couldn't stop himself. It's 0-2. As you know, Simmons normally very tough to strike out. He's got some work to do behind in the count 0-2.
Who would have thought they'd have a chance to tie it up or take the lead when it was 11-4 and they already had 17 hits through 4 innings?
I didn't.
No, not me. Didn't look very good.
What a stop. Mathis didn't even try to catch that ball with his glove. He knew it was going to bounce. He gave up the body and the ball dropped right at his feet. Watch.
Great job.
That might have saved a run. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Andrelton Simmons is down on strikes. There's out number 2, and the fate of the inning rests with Cameron Maybin.
Nothing but sliders. That hard slider, and Andrelton couldn't lay off. Cameron's been so good all year long with runners in scoring position. He's up there at less than 100%. That left shoulder really bothering him.
He's never faced Barraclough. And he's batting with the bases loaded and takes inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Cameron 6 for 14 this year with the bases loaded. That's awesome. A .429 average. And he's a .345 hitter overall with runners in scoring position. And he had a good rip. Didn't get it. Even count. Slow roller left side. Prado, tricky hop, made the play, and that retires the side. The Braves, though, get 3 runs in the 8th inning. They've made it a 1-run game. Wow, what a night in Miami. 12-11, the Marlins hanging on.
Braves fans, we're less than a week away from a free post-game concert by one of the hottest new stars in country music, Sam Hunt. Brought to you by Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines this Thursday, October 1st, when the Nationals are in town. There are still a few field passes available. Get them online at Braves.com.
I know if Sam were here, he'd be excited about this comeback. He'd also want Matt Marksberry to hang a 0 up there in the bottom of the 8th and get the Braves offense back up.
He's got Yelich, Prado, and Bohr coming up. Did that tip the bat? No swing. Thought I heard a little tick. Must have been caught awkwardly by Lavarnway.
Almost waded right into that. Back with the breaking ball. No, right down Broadway. And he took it. That may be the first fastball down the middle tonight that was watched get into the catcher's glove by either side.
And that's off the plate. Full count. Lefty righty splits. The real story for Matt Marksberry. Lefties hitting 170 against him. Righties 361. Yelich and Bohr, left-handed hitters. Prado sandwiched in between. And this one's popped up behind the plate. Lavarnway gives chase near the aquarium, but won't have a play.
Yeah, 200-point split there is quite amazing. And as I said in New York the other night, if he can get that breaking ball down and into the right-handers, back foot breaking ball, it will help him reduce that number a lot.
Yelich chased and didn't get it. High fastball at 93 miles an hour, and there's out number 1.
Not where he was aiming, but where it worked.
So here's Prado, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, and a twin killing 2. He hit into a double play in the 5th inning. Marlins have only 1 hit since the end of the 5th. That was a Rojas single. He was erased on a double play. Brian Weber started. Was not good. No movement on his pitches. 7 runs, 9 hits in 2+ innings. Sugar Ray Maramone gave up 4 runs in an inning of relief. Other than that, pitching's been pretty darn good. And the offense never stopped hitting tonight. They got 4 in the 1st against Fernandez, added 2 more in the 5th, 2 in the 7th, 3 in the 8th to make it a 1-run game.
Now Dan Jennings finally found somebody that could get an out in Barraclaw, and he got 2 big outs. The strikeout of Simmons was huge with the bases loaded in the top of this inning. Good time to try that back foot breaking ball.
It was inside. Prado spun out of the way, didn't like it. Looks out at Marksberry.
The first one wasn't that close. That one was definitely up and in. Again, not that bad.
And he's gone full again. Martin had a good cut, fouled it back. Just missed. Prado was backing away as that pitch popped the glove of LeVarn Way, and he's aboard with a 1-out walk. But another lefty-lefty matchup with Justin Bour is forthcoming. And Bour needs the triple to hit for a cycle. He entered tonight's game 1 for his last 12. A 3-run homer in the first inning tied the game at 4. He led off the third with a double. He had a 4th inning single on an 0-2 pitch, and he's also grounded out.
It's only the second walk issued by Atlanta tonight, and the first by the bullpen.
Penn's pitched to a 2.08 ERA over the last 6 games. Atlanta's won 5 of them. Strike, even count.
Edwin Jackson was excellent in New York, a couple of outings.
Bour pops it up, and Maben gallops over. He's got it. There's the second out. And Ozuna will be the hitter. That's going to be the end of the line for Marksberry, it would appear. Freddie Gonzalez trots out of the Braves dugout. Marksberry 2/3 of an inning with a walk and a strikeout. And it looks like Edwin Jackson versus Ozuna will be the next matchup. 1-run game. We're in inning number 8. Pat on the back for Marksberry. Nicely done. We'll see how Jackson fares after this. Clinging by their little pectoral fins to a 1-run lead. Here's your game summary. Tale of 2 games. They scored early. The Braves have done the late scoring.
Braves haven't stopped hitting. They've got 15 hits of their own. But that 4-run lead in the first evaporated quickly. And now Edwin Jackson will try to pitch like he did in New York. Came in with the bases loaded, pitched out of a big jam a couple of days ago, 2/3 of an inning. Got a win 2 days ago, that last game. The Braves rallied. He worked a 1/3 of an inning with a strikeout there.
And he just missed to Ozuna, even count, 1 ball, 1 strike. This is why Edwin is such a valuable guy potentially in your bullpen. He can pitch multiple times a week for you. He can pitch in a multitude of relief roles for you. He can also spot start for you. He's got a live, durable arm.
I don't know about Martin, but that quick step off scared me to death.
Nice snag by Lavarnway. That's low. 2 balls and a strike.
I didn't know that we were going to get to this point with Ozuna, because we were talking about how in crucial situations when the Braves come in to pitch to him with guys on base, he can't hit the breaking ball. Well, that was an attempt there by Edwin to get him to swing at it, but it was too low.
Fly ball left. Bourne retreats. Big ballpark. And that'll take care of Miami in the 8th inning. The Braves need 1 to tie, 2 to take the lead on Back to the Future night. It's 12-11 Fish. Let's see if the Braves can complete the comeback as we get set for the 9th inning. Defensive change for the Marlins. Ichiro has taken over in left field for the Marlins. And the Braves, with the bottom part of their order coming up, have their hands full with A.J. Ramos.
He's never given up much to the Braves. A 1.55 career ERA. There's his numbers for the year against everybody. 81 strikeouts in 67 1/3 innings. And he does it with a low 90s fastball, slider, and an excellent changeup.
Olivero will be the first man that greets him. Hector tonight, 2 singles, a sac fly, and a run scored. So he's got a 2-for-3 game. Ramos jumped ahead with a strike.
Swinging bunt base hit got things started last inning.
Last 5 appearances, Ramos with 4 saves. In fact, had 4 saves in a 4-game span. Only the 8th time in Marlins history that a pitcher's done that. The last hurler to do that was Kevin Gregg, and that was 7 years ago.
Well, this is his 3rd day in a row. Picked up a save last night against the Phillies. Dunn wasn't sharp on his 3rd straight day.
And like tonight, that was another 1-run nail-biter for Ramos. Much different game, though. It was a 1-0 final. Here it's 12-11.
Line drive left field by Oliveira, and that's how the ninth inning starts. Hector Oliveira with a 3-hit game.
And a sacrifice fly. That looked like a changeup that he was able to stay back on enough to deliver. Breaking ball, big hanger. Tying run aboard.
3 hits for Oliveira, 3 hits for Michael Bourne tonight. Let's see if he can pick up a 4th.
Yeah, they've been in his last 3 at bats.
Lavarnway on deck. Bourne awaits his first offering from A.J. Ramos. And he took it high, ball 1.
That changeup might come into play here with a left-handed hitter instead of a right, and try to get Michael to get off stride, hit one on the ground. That's what he'd like to see happen.
Sharply hit to second. Gordon to the shortstop for 1. Throw to first is in time. A double play. Bourne scalded it, but hit it right to D. Gordon.
You know he wanted something to pull because the runner's being held at first. And he hit it sharply and right at D. Gordon.
So the Braves are down to their last out. It's Ryan Lavarnway. He's hit into a double play, and he's been called out on a check swing strike. He came on for A.J. Pierzynski in the 6th, and he didn't get that one. Strike 1. Over the outside edge, it's 0-2. And a swing and a miss, and that's your ball game. The Marlins hang on and win 12-11, and history tonight at Marlins Park. Jose Fernandez has earned his 17th consecutive victory at home without a loss, a new major league record. Just how he drew it up. Yeah, he gave up 6 runs in 5 innings of work, but that was good enough as the Marlins offense gave him 12 runs and 20 hits of support. And for the first time this year against the Braves, the Marlins get to shake hands on their home field. 12-11, Miami wins game 1 of the series. We're back to recap it for you right after this.